His name was David. David was the first person that I met when I moved here. Him and his wife, they lived right across the street. He was the first one to come over to see how I was doing. He was a double amputee. He had no toes. He smoked a cigar. And he wore one of those caps with the little, so whenever I had a project out there, he would come over, see what I needed. You know, he would show me one of his tools that could get things done. You know, he sometimes, he was a pain in the butt because people that know me, I don't deal with people very well. So it was, you know, but for him, I had made an exception because he was a super senior to me. But he was always there, whether I wanted him to or not, right? But he taught me how to work on a lot of different, with a lot of different tools. He taught me a lot of lessons about life. You know, he had a son, and and his wife, you know, so we were just buddies. And we lived life like that. He was my buddy. I would take him out at least once a month. Well, let's back up. His wife passed away. So after his wife passed away, I started taking him out once a month, you know, me and him having lunch. And that became something, you know, it was a friendship that I had with David. He would, I have so many stories about him, right? He would call me every day. He was just an awesome guy. You know, he was awesome to me. If I needed anything, he was right there. You know, I locked myself out of the house one day. I did not know how to get in there. I had to go through my garage, and I didn't have a key to the back door of the garage. Well, he came over and he broke the door down, you know, so we could get in. He was just always there. He brightened my day many, many times, you know, and he passed away in 2021. I had told him, David, I don't want you to die, because if you die, you know I'm going to be the one finding you. Please, David, don't. And we would have a thing going back and forth. He would say, I'm going to die in my bed. You know, so you would have to come all the way upstairs and see me just, you know. He was a crazy old man. And he's like, just one day out of the blue, I'm going to die. He's like, don't worry about it, Sylvia. That's not going to happen. I'm going to live forever. And I had house keys. He gave me his house keys. And he was a man of structure. You know, he left his trash cans out. So I knew, is he out there? Okay, he's okay today, because he would bring his trash cans back in, you know. And that's how one day I saw that the trash cans had been put out in the morning, you know, the day before. And the next day, he didn't put them back in. So I waited and I waited. And I kept looking out there, and I called him and he didn't answer. Like, okay. I let some time pass. And God, it must have been 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, I couldn't take it anymore. So I got my keys and I went over there. I was the one that found him. And he had a cat. So when I opened the door, I could see him right there, right at the, all I had to do was open the door. And the cat was right next to him. You know, the cat's name was Eddie. I think that was the cat's name, because he would always be, Eddie, Eddie. After I found him, I saw, but I couldn't go and touch him. I just felt it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I feel bad about that. I ran over to a neighbor's house, and she did go and confirm that he had passed. You know, and at least I didn't have to go all the way upstairs. I always thought about that, because he was an awesome guy. So he's the one that told me, I'm sorry, it's a little long. I was just thinking about him today. He would tell me, all of a sudden, he started telling me, Sylvia, that dog of yours, look at his tummy. Look at her tummy. You're feeding her too much. And I'm like, no, I'm not feeding her too much. I always feed her the same. Like, her tummy's dragging to the floor. Wow. And, you know, it's my dog, so I see her every day. I didn't notice that her tummy had been getting bigger. Bailey's tummy. And because of him, I'm like, I'm going to take her in. No, she started having also tummy problems. So that, and then her tummy, I'm like, taking her in. But I don't know. He was just an awesome guy. He taught me so many things. I have so many stories about him. To me, he was a delightful old man. You know, he helped me get through my divorce by like, Sylvia, you can't stay in there. You know, let's go to the casino. And we would go to the casino, and we would just get out of the house. And he would tell me war stories, and he would tell me his life stories in the Navy. He was a veteran of 30 years. You know, he was an awesome friend. You know, and I do believe, or now late in life, I guess, I start to believe more and more in, it's going to sound weird, but yeah, the afterlife, after death. You know, I just hope that there's people on the other side that we'll get to see again. And he was an awesome friend. He was married for over 50 years. You know, I can tell you Babette's story too. That was his wife's name. I was just remembering him. He taught me a lot about life and tools and, you know, somebody else that I have in my life that made me who I am today. I hope you do, you know, like listening to my stories. I ramble on because my head is everywhere all the time. And that's the way I am, and that's who I am. One of my kids, I have one of my kids would tell me, you know, when I would go see them at their university, and we would be talking, you know, they would say, hey, mom, calm down. You know, I have to wrap my head around who I'm talking to, because he doesn't have ADHD. So it would take him some time to I guess, get our brains together, or for him to concentrate on, this is gonna be a bumpy ride when she talks. Again, thank you for being here, and I hope you continue to come over to my channel and like and subscribe, and you know, this is for me too. This is how I get to remember David later on in my life, or in my rocking chair, or whatever. Okay, thank you. Bye.